Good morning. Here we are at the yard. Been a while. 30 window. Um, Been a while, man. I've been gone for a while. I had a couple of things with the truck going wrong right before the Christmas break, and then this whole week being Christmas and stuff, being with the family. So I've been out of YouTube for a while. This channel and Spanish channel as well. But we turned on the truck. We're waiting for it to warm up. We're gonna head over to Integrated 35th, pick up an empty box, 40 foot, and we're heading over to Michigan. See how this drive goes. Hopefully it's not that bad of a weather going that way. So, all right, here we are, Integrated. It's probably the earliest I have ever came in here. It opened at 6 o'clock. It looked like somebody told me it opens at 7, but no, it opens at 6. They do take their sweet ass time here though for the check-in. So you guys come over here, you know how it is. Right here at 35th, all we pick up is these MSCs, Mediterranean boxes. Like I said, I'm picking up a 40. It's right across Thorns here by I-55 on California. Kind of a weird day today. Sunny here, sunny there, but cloudy. It's a little weird. But here we are, man, on our way. We did not get a container there at 35th. There was no equipment, so we had a different load. Went to Kedzie real quick, picked up a empty, and I dropped it off in Wisconsin. Right now we're back in Illinois. Hooked up to another container. This one was already loaded over in Morrison, which is in Elk Grove Village, and taking it to Montino. But I wanted to talk about the lawsuit I have for BP. You know, if you guys have not followed me, I'm going to give you a little backstory. Back in the end of April this year, BP on 47th and Central in Forest View, Illinois, they had construction going on, and that night, it was like right around 9 p.m. I went to go and diesel up. When I finished dieseling up, doing everything I had to do, I was gonna drive off, and as soon as I turned to the right to get out the parking lot, or to get out of the fuel islands, there was metal plates on the floor, and as I went through them, they slid over. They were not anchored down, and needless to say, they did some damage on my diesel tanks. It dropped, quite a few on their parking lot until I was able to plug it up, and I was able to do a report with the assistant manager or the supervisor that was there, and I was able to drive it towards my mechanic. It was still leaking, but I was able to plug it up. But like I said, it was a significant amount of damage on my diesel tanks where it had to be fixed, had to be replaced, and I dropped a significant amount of diesel that I had just filled up in their facility. I talked to the manager the next day because I didn't let it go alone. We got all the information from their side. They got all the information on my side, but I still went to go and talk to them the next morning. And what do I find next morning? Next morning there was another truck driver that hit the same plates, but for him it was not that great. He actually had to get his truck towed right there because the plates went inside of his tanks. It completely sliced them. So obviously it threw all of it, all the diesel out there. Like I said, that was the next morning I seen the biohazard or the hazmat cleanup out there. I was trying to talk to the manager, but he was dealing with that driver too. He was not in the mood. which is not my fault. It's not my problem. It was their facility. Obviously, he got to do something about it. I finally got to talk to him, gave me all the information, gave me the phone number to the corporate and everything. Promised me that everything was going to get paid since it happened in their facility. Well, that's how they left it, right? That's how he made it seem like. But since I had the phone number to corporate, I was waiting for a phone call. I never got it. And then I didn't even wait the next day. I think I was still in the parking lot, if I remember correctly. I was still in the parking lot, and I called corporate and I let them know about the incident. Okay, so I let them know about the incident. I let them know I talked to their manager, and they had no idea. So they had no idea that happened, but yet the manager was, 100% reassuring me that I was going to get paid for all the damages. So I did the report with corporate. They did tell me it was going to take a few days to see what they were going to do, to see if they were going to put the insurance in and get an adjuster and all that. Well, a few days later, they did call me from a company, Carlson and Sons. I guess BP put it on them. That's Carlson and Sons was the actual construction company that was there. So they put it on them to go about figuring out what we were going to do. So they put their insurance in and they got the adjuster in. The first thing the adjuster told me was, we are going to investigate to see if our customer was at fault. And I even told the lady, there was a lady, the adjuster, I told the lady, I was like, well, it has to be their fault, man. Like, it's in their facility. Those freaking plates were not anchored down. And I was not the only one that got their trucks messed up, Like, all I wanted was my bill to get paid. That's it. Well, that's how they went about it. They left me at that. They were gonna figure it out. So, like I said, it was end of April. May came in, June came in, July came in, and I had no response, man. And in those months, every week, I would call the adjuster, no call, no answer. Leave a voicemail, no call back. I would leave emails, no replies. I was getting tired. I was getting fed up. I was getting frustrated because how long does it take an adjuster to go and figure out to see if they were at fault? By the time they went over there, because I went there the following week. I went there the following week in my own personal car because I was gonna gas up there, and then I walked back there to where everything happened. Well, guess what? They had already covered everything. They had concrete already, so there was nothing to prove. But there was cameras. There was cameras that were right in front of the spot, and I was telling the adjuster that that's all they could. That's all they need. That's all they needed to see is just the cameras. They're gonna see that they're not anchored in. Still did not get an answer. My wife was able to check out the information for the adjuster, and we were able to find her higher ups phone number and information. So I called them. When I finally called them, I told them the situation. I told them the adjuster's name, the claim number, everything. I told them I have been trying to figure out what's going on for the past 3-4 months already. And your adjuster, you could just go on her email, go on her voicemails. You're gonna get a bunch of emails from me. It's just unprofessional, And as soon as I told him that, he said, okay, I'm gonna get on it. You'll probably get an answer by tomorrow. Well, no, I didn't get an answer the next day. I got the answer the same day, but I got the ugly email talking about they were not going to be liable for the damages on either truck. At that point, I was upset already because I was like, damn, dude, I couldn't believe it. since the end of April, and this was coming up, I want to say closer to almost October, the beginning of October, and they were finally giving me that damn notice that they were not going to be liable for it. And I thought about it for 2 days, right? A couple days, and I was like, you know what? I'm not. All I wanted was my bills to get paid, my mechanic bills and stuff like that. So I was fed up. It took so much time for me to for me to get the answer no. So what did I do? The same person that I was talking to from corporate, I contacted them again. I sent them a nice detailed email letting them know that I was not happy with this, and I waited several months just for them to say no, even though it happened in their facility, even though it happened with their equipment. So at the end of the thing, I told them, you guys are gonna see my lawyers. I only wanted my bills paid, but now it's gonna go for a lot more. And I mean, really, that's all I really wanted. I think the bill was gonna come up to like 4,000 and some change, plus the diesel that they said they were gonna pay for it. It was gonna come up at like 4,500, 4,600. That's all, bro. Like, that's all I needed. I didn't need anything else. Well, here's where the update comes in, okay? So as soon as I sent that email, I got a text message from the guy like an hour, 2 hours after I sent the email. And this was from corporate, okay? From BP. The guy from corporate, he replied to me. He was apologizing, and he was telling me that he did not know that they didn't want to pay, or he did not know the situation or what was going on, because they did not let him know anything. They kept him out of the loop. And then right there we started talking, right? And I told him the same thing, like, hey man, first of all, they were so unprofessional, because I was trying to get some information. I was trying to get an update, and they never responded to me. They, no emails, no phone calls, nothing for this long. Now it's been like 3-4 months, and they finally said, sorry, we ain't paying for nothing. Which he immediately replied, and he told me that he had shown all these text messages and emails to the vice president there, and the vice president was not happy. So he told me that they were calling, I guess they were calling that company, and he said that company needs to pay you guys, you and the other truck, because they got big contracts with us right now. So if they want to keep their contract and keep working with us, then they need to keep our customers happy, and those customers, you guys are included, that they damage your equipment because of the negligence and not anchoring the plates right. Like I said, man, at that point I was already looking for lawyers. I was looking for anybody to help me, get a lawsuit against BP, because, like I said, it was a long time. At that point, I was not gonna have a lawsuit for $4,000 or $5,000. If I was gonna get a lawsuit, it was gonna be for a lot more now, because it's wasting my time. I was gonna get them for storage as well on my truck from the mechanic. It was gonna be a lawsuit. It wasn't gonna be not little. But this gentleman, he replied to me. He got it done. He got it done, because as soon as we stopped talking, that Carlson and Sons emailed me like within the hour, asking me for my information, where they could send asking me to send them the receipt from the mechanic, the receipt for the fuel, anything that had to do with the truck at that time. They asked me to send it in so they could add it up and send me a check. So they asked me for all my info so they could send me the check and everything as well. And this was within an hour after I spoke to the gentleman over here at corporate. I just don't understand why it took this long, or why it took for me to say you guys are gonna hear from my lawyers for me to finally get paid. You know, like I said, man, it was just my bill I was asking for. I don't know if I was asking for anything else, anything else under just my bill, man. That's it. You know, when shit gets damaged, people have to take accountability for what they damaged and pay for it, right? That's why everybody gets insurance. That's why everybody, you know, it's liable for their work, and you know, stuff like that. It just pisses me off. And the way they were just gonna brush it off and not try to pay me, they didn't even give me an explanation or a reason why they were not liable for it. They just said they're not liable. They found their customer not at fault. Like, why? So yes, in the end, after all that process was done, the week after that, I got my check, which was for, I want to say, right around $4,600. Okay, so that's all I ever wanted. I got my check. I was happy. Everybody's happy. Nobody losing a lot. I mean, that's what they should have done in the first place. Like, I just didn't understand how that adjuster was still going to say that their customer or their client was not at fault, being the camera right there, being that it was their piece of work on the floor. I had it on video. I told them I had it on video. Because I had whatever happened to me on video. I had the other truck on the video as well. I took pictures of all the mess that was going around. I took a mess of those plates that shifted, everything. And they still said they weren't at fault. I don't understand how these damn insurance companies work. I know they're all a scam. They're all a damn scam. They just want to take people's money, and in the end, they don't want to fucking pay up when they have to. And I know in my case, it wasn't as big of a deal. You know, it was fixable. I fixed it. I was working within a couple days and stuff. But it shouldn't be up to me to fix somebody else's negligence. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was my fault, if I was working on my truck and I messed it up, then yeah, I gotta pay for it. But if I'm in your property, and because you are not a good of an owner or manager to say, hey, those plates are not anchored right, or you know, anything that'll jeopardize anybody's equipment out there, why wouldn't you take care of it? You know, just take care of it right then and there. You wouldn't have these problems. The worst thing about it was that the supervisor, the lady that I was talking to at that point, at that night, she was telling me, and there was another worker that was there too, they were telling me that those plates have been there for a year, and that we were not the first case, but we were the worst cases that happened. Okay, so I guess they had cases of them shifting, but did not totally screw up somebody else's equipment. But I guess over time, they were just getting loose, and then we were the ones that fell right through it. So like I said, I don't know, we finally got our stuff together. I got it situated. Like I said, there was no lawsuit. It didn't get to a lawsuit. I don't know what I would have done. Like I said, I was still looking for a lawyer, but you know, it's kind of tough to grab a lawyer or an attorney to try to fight for you, especially for a big company. Like, I mean, that's what I was thinking too. Like, man, this is a BP, man. This multi-million, maybe multi-billion-dollar company. Like, you just pay off that bill fast, man. I don't know why they were giving me a hard time. Maybe take it, I guess it was the contractors that they had there that they were at fault, but I mean, it shouldn't have taken this long. And let's change the direction on this video. Seems to me like a lot of you guys got upset about that video that I put about Justin. Now, don't get me wrong. I accept good comments, bad comments, any comments. Any kind of comments in my videos, I welcome it. But geez Louise, I didn't even know you guys knew Justin personally like that. Like, you guys came at me like you knew him personally. And I mean, all I did was said Trucking Unfiltered is stating facts about this man, and you guys came out here negatively. Like, bro, like, you guys are getting mad over an opinion. Nobody's hating. That's one thing I want to state here. Nobody's hating. This is YouTube. At the end of the day, this is entertainment. You guys got to understand that. But I mean, if you're gonna be vlogging about trucking and trying to teach trucking to new up and comers, do it the right way, man. Don't be lying to the people. That's the one thing that, you know, a lot of us don't like. But stay tuned, because I have another video to make about one of the dumb things that he said about a load that he got for X amount of money. I think he put it out by like $22 a mile, $30 a mile. I can't remember, but be real. You guys gonna hear about that. I hope you guys go on the comments. I want to see all your comments. I want to see who's really glazing this man and who really thinks he's a joke. Reason why I don't do these kind of videos is because of that. But like I said, Trucking Unfiltered, he's done his fair share of deal in making videos, reaction videos about that man, and they're good. The latest one was about his trailer. Mr. Privilege over here didn't get his ways. His trailer was messed up and he had a nice little mantrum. I guess that's what you guys like seeing, so stay tuned. But anyway, this is a wrap. Hope you guys liked the video. If you guys do like it, give it a like, subscribe, give me a comment. I'm always in the comment section, as you guys can see. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram as well, I have an Instagram and TikTok as Trucking with Sal. I haven't really been posting much on there as well, but you know, I have the old Volvo that I used to drive there. You guys want me to talk about the old Volvo that I used to have too? Like, let me know. I'll talk about it. I miss that Volvo. Not as much as this one, but I miss it. But thank you guys for the support. Like I said, this is it for this one, and keep on moving forward. For those who stayed to the end, look at this. Mounted it right on top of the pin. Everything else is good except that pin. There's a way of hitting it with a hammer here if you had these kind of handles, or even just using the handle from the landing gear. You could pull it, but this one, not so much.